Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And here in Salem, we are fairly covered with snow. We have had what is considered, I believe, the worst snowstorm in about 50 years. So yesterday there was no vlog because I could not really get out of my residence and down to the museum. But today we are here and we're digging out and we have a vlog for this evening. And our question for this evening comes to us from Earthly9999, who asks, what do witches think of angels? And, you know, this is one of those questions where there are many different variables, but the first one really, in some ways, I would have to say that in answering this, the question is not so much what witches think of angels as what the questioner thinks of angels, because it's difficult to compare the two concepts when there are more than one ways of looking at the word. However, I will take what I'm assuming the questioner means and answer it to that. And if Earthly9999 thinks of angels the way most people I have met think of angels, then I would say that the term is roughly analogous to what I would call spirit guides. Advanced spirits who help people who are living through advice, through help, through guidance in their lives and sometimes intervention. In the pagan, I guess you can't say the pagan religion, but among the pagan religions, we tend to believe in a wide range of spirits, including ancestor spirits, nature spirits, elemental spirits, etc. And many of these would be analogous to what most people think of as angels in terms of what they do, in terms of how we relate to them. Now, the word angel has its origin in a word meaning messenger. And certainly spirit guides are messengers and are often perceived as being messengers from ambient deity, universal deity, patron deity, depending on the individual. But they're perceived as being a voice of spirit in your life. So in that sense, the concept is very similar. Now, in certain other senses, I think that one of the reasons that in the Judeo-Christian religions they have the word angel is because they find it necessary to differentiate between certain sorts of spirits among those they like and those they don't, which isn't necessarily the case in the pagan religion, so it depends entirely on who you're talking to and what their background is. I personally use the word spirit in a very generic and very broad-ranging sense. So I would say that what the ordinary person refers to as an angel, again, is basically what I would call a spirit guide. You know, I would point out a couple of cultural examples. For example, we've just had the great ambient midwinter holiday pass, where people have been celebrating various holidays, including Yule, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and Festivus. And one of the traditions in the U.S. that has arisen around the ambient holiday is the showing of the film It's a Wonderful Life, which features an angel by the name of Clarence. And if you watch that movie and you watch the character of Clarence, you will realize that this is basically a spirit guide or an ancestor spirit portrayed very much the way that we would look at them. It doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with canonical Christianity, although it's certainly presented from a Christian point of view. But the way that spirit functions was clearly a living person who is now in spirit, who has the duty and the role of guiding other living persons toward a higher plane of existence, or toward a better life of their own. Many times there was a very popular series called Touched by an Angel for a number of years, which basically had the same premise, that what in Judeo-Christian terminology would be an angel is in many ways an ancestor spirit or spirit guide, one who has lived in the physical and moved on into the spiritual. Now, in pagan religion, or many pagan religions, we would say that eventually they will also be reincarnated, but this would be something that would be between lives. If you get into more advanced teachings, you might say not only between, but beside lives. But that's another vlog. So I hope that answers your question, Earthly9999, and until next time, may you blessed be.